Now that I've set up my ePortfolio site in WordPress.com, we're now brought into the back end. So when we log in at WordPress.com, this is the administration view that we'll see. It's been designed for new and novice users, and it's relatively straightforward to use. The first thing to be aware of is the landing page shows me the stats for my site. So I can see when I was posting and the types of stats that are basically happening on my site in terms of user visits and views, any likes and comments, etc. If I scroll down this page, I get to see a few more stats, and I also get to see the people who are currently following the site. On the left hand side of the screen, you can see a number of different options. The first one here is to click to view the site. So if I click here, I can see basically a preview of my site. Now at the moment, it's showing me what the site looks like on a mobile phone. If I click this view here, it's showing me what it looks like in a tablet, or this view here, it shows me what my site looks like on a desktop. If I want to actually jump out to the site itself in its own window, I click on this option here, and this will now bring my ePortfolio or my blog into its own window on the browser. So I can see here I have a very simple blog with a standard first post. I need to alter or edit this post, and I've got a very simple menu with a home button, an about button, and also a contact button. So I'm going to close down my ePortfolio or my blog, and I'm going to click on the X button here to return back to the admin section. So again, to preview my site or my ePortfolio, to take a look at it, I'll just click on this link here, the top one here, and it will pop up in either full view, tablet view, phone view, or pop-out view here, and I can take a look at my blog in its own window. Now I'll close it down again. So how do I start adding content to my ePortfolio? Well, before I do that, one of the key things I need to do is understand what the different features are here. One of the first decisions you'll need to make is around the privacy of your blog. Is it a public blog or a private blog? Or maybe it's in between. Maybe it's something that can be accessed but isn't viewable or searchable via search engines like Google or Bing. To do this, there's a number of options that we can use. If we come down to settings, we'll see here on the settings page a number of different settings for our site. So for example, we can change the site title or the tagline. We can also, if we need to add a custom address, we can change languages and time zones. But one of the key things here is the privacy settings. At present, my ePortfolio or my blog has been set to public. I can make it hidden, which is kind of in between public and private. What it means is that anybody can take a look at my blog or ePortfolio, but it's difficult to find because it won't be shown to search engines. If I want to keep it completely private, in other words, access by invited users only, well then I'll select the private option here. For the time being, I'm going to leave my ePortfolio as public, so I'll select the public option. And I'll click on Save Settings. Now, how do I invite people? If it was private, how can I invite somebody to take a look or to contribute to my ePortfolio or my blog? The people option here allows you to basically manage the people who can access your ePortfolio or blog. Naturally, my own account here is listed as an admin, but if I want to add somebody, I can basically click on the invite user link here, and I'll be prompted to enter in their email address, the type of role I have, and a message that I can send them. So for example, if you're working with students, let's say they're on work placements, and you're asking them to have a private blog or an ePortfolio for maybe privacy reasons, and you want them to invite you as a viewer of their blog, you can ask they put in your email address here. The role they give the person is also important. There's a number of different roles in WordPress. Administrator being a very powerful role that can basically set up and configure the site and even delete it. The editor role allows the person to manage posts. The author role allows the person to publish their own posts, and the contributor role also allows somebody to publish posts, but they have to be approved by an editor. So basically there are different levels of I suppose power or attributes added to each of these user types. I'm just going to select follower here, and if I put in somebody's email address and a message and click on the send invite, they'll be invited to basically view my ePortfolio or my site, which is running in private mode. What I can also do is customize the look and feel of my site by looking at free or purchasable themes. I can control the menus that appear at the top of my site, and again, we'll look at some of these later on. And I can also access several tools and settings, such as the writing tools and discussion and comments tools. I can import or export, or finally, I can use the WP admin interface. For anybody who's an experienced WordPress administrator, this is a really useful option. It brings up the more powerful WP admin interface, which lets you configure and manage your ePortfolio or your blog. But for many of you, this is a simple interface and a simple way to go and add content and manage content on your ePortfolio or your blog. The way that we do that is by adding blog posts or pages, and we'll look at these now in the coming videos.